What's up, guys? Ricardo the Barber here. I finally got around to doing some videos. I've been a little busy with my kid, and he's been taking up all of my time. But I picked the camera up, press record, and did a blowout for you. So this cut is called typically a Brooklyn blowout. I mean, you know, it's basically a blowout slash taper, whatever you want to call it, with long hair, basically an afro, or you know, if you have your straight hair gelled out. Typically, what I usually do first is I cut the hair down a length. In this case, I just picked it out first, and I'm going over it with scissors. He typically gets it somewhere around the 3/4 of an inch long, maybe to 1 inch max. So I'm just going over the whole head here with the scissors. Now, when I'm done with that, I like to start in the back. I usually do the typical steps that I always take whenever I'm doing anything that blends down to a zero. I always start with my zero first, or my trimmers. So he's going to he's doing a skin blowout. So I'm making this guideline here, and you know, mind you, sometimes you can curve this line. Some people like to curve it so they can have a longer shape up line on the sides. I just do it this way. This is just the way I do it. I mean, you guys feel free to do whatever you'd like. The only difference is you kind of blend a little bit on a curve, basically the same look. So I go straight to my 2, and it's closed. This clipper is closed right now. Oh, it's not a 2.5. It's just a basic 2. I'm actually keeping it against the head for about an inch, and then I'm scooping out, and I'm being very careful. I'm listening to the hair that's actually being cut from these clippers. And yes, this guy's freaking falling asleep. Good dude. I'm gonna talk crap on him later though, because I know he's watching. But anyways, you take your 2, and again, I keep the clipper on the skin for at least an inch. I scoop out, and now I'm going over it, the part that I basically know, you know, wants to be cut down to a 2. I'm going over it good. So I finish with the 2, and I make my second guideline here using the clipper open, which is, again, most of my fades you'll see it open. On the Andes Masters, it cuts to about 1/8 of an inch. Put my 1 guard back on. I have that open to a 1.5. Now I'm going to blend into that number 2 that I did earlier. So I like to blend downwards, and I'm going to make that point now because disregard how good you are. You know, you can really never raise a blend when you're blending downwards. If you are blending upwards, you might accidentally make the mistake of raising the fade a little higher. Unless you're a professional, you know, you typically won't make that mistake. But I like to take off a little bit of hair at a time. I like to hear what's coming off, so I typically blend downwards. It's just my style. So I'm basically closing the clippers as I'm blending downwards. Right here, I switch to the 1/16, and I have the guard halfway closed or halfway open. That knocks down the rest of the little bit of hair to get me to where I need to be to blend into the half when the half's open by itself. So I'm just fine tuning it and blending it and getting it as good as I possibly can. So here I'm finishing up with that 1/16, and now I just have my bare clippers. I'm closing them somewhere around 3/4 of the way. So I'm actually closing it just 1/4. It's pretty much 3/4 open. So just a little touch forward could take off a decent amount of hair, and I'm just going over it. Now I'm probably 1/3 open. I like to just, you know, go straight through. I typically, when I'm blending, if this helps you guys out, whenever I'm blending with my bare clippers, I usually move the notch within 5 different areas from open to close. Usually it takes about 5 different, you know, times where I could open and close it. So I'm just going over the back and forth really good till I you know, get my blend close enough. I mean, when I'm blending and I'm looking at it and you know, through my eyes, I mean, it could look perfect. And then when I'm watching it on the video, I'm like, holy crap, what is this? I need to touch it up some more. So you know, obviously the video doesn't lie. If it comes good on video, it doesn't look good in real life. It looks great. I mean, it's like perfect. So the best way you could probably go around that is you typically go over your blend when you're done shaping up, or you're done, you know, lining up the area that you just blend. Because once you put that sharp line against, you know, a blend, whether it's perfect or not. You're gonna learn whether it's perfect or not when you're done. It'll point out any little imperfections you have, any little areas you might have messed up in or you didn't do good enough. So, you know, typically that's how you would tell if you did an alright job. So here, through my eyes, I mean, this thing looks pretty much perfect until I looked on the camera. So I said, okay, you know, I'll do the shape up first. I'll be able to find out, you know, what problems I do have. And, you know, in the middle, I can see just a touch of a line. So that will get hit in probably about 30 seconds. Okay, so my computer just shut off. I don't know what the hell happened. But it's back up now, so hopefully I'm not too much louder than I was before. But here I am, pretty much finishing up the blend, trying to get what I can as clean as I can. And my next approach is to do the shape up, at least on the sides and the back. So I'm going to come around, grab my trimmers. And these are wall detailers. And I like to start from the bottom. You know, for some reason, I always have done that. I can pick a good spot where I want the trimmer to, or the shape up to end, and what angle I want it on. You're going to do a slight angle. You don't want to go crazy, because if you go in too much, you're going to have this thing all screwed up looking. But I make my shape up line, and I'm trying to clean up the hairs around the head. And, you know, it does show a little bit of a line in the middle that I have to go over. So my job is to clean it up when I'm done. Now, these trimmers cut very, very nice. I do recommend them. I don't use too much wall items or any kind of, you know, hair clipper accessories or anything. But I do happen to like these detailers a lot because they're small, they're compact, they're very powerful, and they don't really get hot at all. Now, this blade I have on there, I did happen to order it custom. It is from Chuka, the barber. You know, I did check out his website or at least his videos he had on YouTube, and I ended up buying his blade that he has on his website. And you cannot use it to shave hair down, like to start a guideline. But as far as using them to shape up, they're awesome. So I do have other clippers that I use to, you know, basically to shave to the zero. So I do recommend getting those from him if you guys get a chance. They're like 20-something bucks. And here you see me, you know, I'm finally getting to that line, and I'm trying to clean it up as good as possible. And you see the blend really, really comes together, and it's as clean as it's going to get, you know, and customers appreciate that. It does take a few extra minutes, but, you know, what are you going to do? Make it happen, you know? That's what they want. You got to do what they got to, you know, what you need to make sure it comes out all right. So I switched to the other side, and I pretty much do the same technique. You know, I'm gonna go over wherever I need to as far as shaping it up, and it's gonna show me wherever I need to fix. And here is not that bad, but there is a lot of hair around his ear, right here where I'm trying to shape up. So, you know, use the clipper and then the comb. And again, these clippers are very powerful. I can just use them to do clipper over comb, and it really doesn't matter. You don't have to use a pair of actual clippers. You can use trimmers, you know, as long as they work. It's what you use. So, you know, I'm just getting around his ear enough to get most of the bulk out, and I finish up. You know, I got a little hook there because I cut some hair, so I'll just touch it up just a little bit to make it flow real nice. And this guy is still freaking trying to fall asleep, yo. You don't even know. It was crazy. Now, after this video, I do not use the razor in this video at all, because we were supposed to record another video right after this of a low fade. I was going to do a low fade because this guy has excellent hair. He has real good hair. And that got scrapped because he could not stay awake. So we only finished this video. There is no razor at the end, but at least, you know, you get the tips on using the number 2 guard and a little bit of clipper over comb to get your blowout, you know, at least looking like this, or, you know, hopefully better. You know, I'm not the best out there, and if you use these techniques, you could easily be a lot better than I am, totally. So here I am again with the number 2. You know, I'm going up about just an inch after I made that 0 guideline. I'm scooping out. Same thing as the back. You know, you don't want to go up too high. You want to go up to a reasonable amount. You know, again, hold it against the head and then come out. You know, go real lightly. And it is easy for me to do this because at least I could hear the Andes clippers. So Again, I do recommend them. These are a very old pair that I've had. These are probably from the 50s. So they've been around a long time. Still in great condition, still cutting beautifully like butter. Now I open the blade up, make my half blade mark, put the number 1, open. So I have the 1 guard open again. You know, I'm just blending into the number 2 here. And I use the same techniques. I'll just reiterate it because, you know, it's all about learning. You know, I use the number 1, close it as you know, all the way as it closes. You blend down into that half guard. Now, with these clipper guards here, these nano magnetic guards, they don't always, the 1 doesn't always blend into the half. So if you do have to put a 1/16 guard on, you typically would start halfway. If you put it in the middle, that'll probably get you exactly down to where you need to be. So basically, it's just a touch away from the 1 to the half. So I have that guard on there now. I'm going to try to, you know, break it down a little more. You see it starting to flow into the back a little better. Now I got the trimmers. My clippers. I moved it forward a bit, and I'm trying to blend that from the 1 to the 0 all the way down. So I'm going to go over that as much as I can, make it look as blended as possible, fix up whatever areas I need to fix. And again, you know, we've been through this plenty of times. There's a lot of videos I have out by now where I'm explaining every step that I take here. So we're getting towards the end of the video, and this is pretty much the last important part that you're probably going to see in the video, because it's basically, you know, just about using the 2. I just happen to say, screw it, you know, if I'm going to do the whole haircut, I'll at least put out as much footage as I can to show what I'm doing. So you know, at least I'll finish this up here. Let's see. Now we're getting into the shape up. Just gonna carry it around the ear as smooth and as sharp as I can. You know, not too many hairs popping out here or there. If you do get a hair that, you know, that pops up, just keep combing it down, or even use your comb to hold the hair down sometimes and lightly, you know, touch it up little by little. You know, get the edge, use the edge of your trimmers whenever you're shaping up. And you could do better than, you know, if you're using just the middle of it. You could always really get fine-tuned into what you're doing, make everything real nice and sharp. Again, you want to have great quality. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I could do that haircut in a third of the time. You know, if you can, that's great. I mean, if you can keep the quality, sheesh. I'd like to watch one of your videos because, you know, if I was faster, you know, that'd be the best. If I can keep my quality and be twice as fast, damn, you guys got to put some videos out, because I feel like I'm pretty slow over here. But either way, this cut will take me somewhere around 35-40 minutes. You know, if I can knock it down from there, I'd be happy. But I just, you know, I don't see how I can personally unless I can watch someone else do it. And, you know, sometimes you will have to deal with a client who is very tired. Sometimes I would say the best technique there is that if somebody's falling asleep in your chair, you know, give them a few minutes, let them get some fresh air. You know, we did that here, and the actual remedy is just that I had to hold his head. Wherever I could, I just hold on to his head and make sure he stayed still, because last thing you want to do is screw someone up. All right, they have to wear it, but it's your cut. You see, there he goes, down and out again. I got good reflexes because I did boxing back in the day, so I'll never screw up there. Either way, now I'm reverse blending. I used the number 1 a second ago to blend down his beard down, and all I'm doing is as I'm moving up, I'm closing the blade, so this way I can blend into that 0. So it's just a reverse blend. It's something you want to do to, you know, have a nice flow going from your beard into your taper, into the top hair. And here, you know, the usual, nothing new. Lightly, you know, touch up the front of his head. Try to get it as straight as possible while keeping everything natural. You know, you don't really see too much fine detail here. And again, I didn't use the razor, and I started, you know, videotaping the next haircut, and you're just way too tired, so I didn't get to finish. Hopefully I can get it soon for you guys. But you know, using those techniques, you guys should come out with some good results. Again, razor's not being used, but you do see at least what the goal is here. everything looks, pretty decent. If you guys think the quality is great, use those techniques and, maybe you get better, hopefully, But I'm signing off. Good talking to you guys. Peace.